But in those days, following that distress, the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light. The stars will fall from the sky, and the heavenly bodies will be shaken. At that time, men will see the Son of Man coming in clouds with great power and glory. And he will send his angels and gather his elect from the four winds, from the ends of the earth to the ends of the heavens. No one knows about that day or hour, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. Be on guard, be alert. You do not know when that time will come. It's like a man going away. He leaves his house and put his servants in charge, each with his assigned task, and tells the one at the door to keep watch. Therefore, keep watch, because you do not know when the owner of the house will come back, whether in the evening or at midnight, or when the rooster crows or at dawn. If he comes suddenly, do not let him find you sleeping. What I say to you, I say to everyone, watch. This is the word of our Lord.
Thanks be to God. Will you pray with me? Oh God, as we gather in your presence, we offer ourselves this day. Open us up to your presence that is already here, and keep us in anticipation of that glory that is to be revealed at your coming. May our hearts always be ready. And now may the words of my mouth and the meditation of our hearts be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, our strength and our Redeemer. Amen.
Amen.
I came across a little smile I want to share with you. A wealthy man died and proceeded to heaven. And when he got to the pearly gates, Peter met him and asked him whether he would like to go to heaven or hell. And the man thought, well, let me take a look at what those look like. And so first he took him down to hell, and he saw people drinking and having a good time. And his eye caught a few lovely ladies, and he said, interesting. And he looked into heaven, and he saw some people praying. And they seemed to be just there worshiping in this holy existence, as it were. And so he went back, and said, Peter says, I think I like it in hell. So he went back, he says, okay, off you go. And so a man grabs him by the collar and hauls him off. Come on! And he gets down there, and he looks, and he sees everybody's just in agony and torment, and they're yelling and screaming because it's so horrible. And he says, but this is not what I saw before. And so they said, well, sorry, pal, that was just the infomercial. I promise you, this is not just an infomercial. The coming of Christ will be a lot more joyful, even as we rejoice now and we share in the peace of the season. It would be worth the wait. I want to speak for the next few moments on the message, Christ our living hope. Christ our living hope. And to read from chapter 13, verse 26 to 27. Would you read with me? Then they will see the Son of Man coming in clouds with great power and glory. Then he will send out his angels and gather his elect from the four winds, from the ends of the earth to the ends of heaven. Here's our thought. Christ is the living hope of our salvation. Say with me, Christ is the living hope of our salvation. Amen. It's always a joy to be in ministry with us here at Williamson and with our sister congregation, Portlandville. As I thought about this season, I could not believe that it is 2 Christmases. Going into the second year, 2 Christmases since appointed to pastor this wonderful congregation. And Gail and myself do thank you for sharing the journey with us, or inviting us to share the journey with you. And so we are delighted to be a part of this work of God. On this first Sunday of Advent, the message is about hope, God's hope. The first word of the 4 words will be lifted up: hope, way, joy, and peace. So today it's hope. Say hope.
Hope.
And in the passage today, Mark says to us of this hope, then they will see the Son of Man coming in clouds with great power and glory. Then he will send out his angels and gather his elect from the 4 winds of the earth to the ends of heaven. That means he'll be gathering people from everywhere, wherever they are. And so, as we think of this Advent season, let me ask the question of you: has the hope of Advent touched our hearts and lives as the season come upon us? Are we getting a sense, a hopeful sense of what's to come, as Ellen quite rightly pointed out with the children this morning? Advent, what is to come, the one who is to come. Do we get a sense of that hopefulness as we do our preparations, our decorations for Advent and for the Christmas? I know for some of us it's probably more scratching the head trying to figure out that list, and who is on the list and who is not, and who we can afford and who we cannot afford. And sometimes that just causes us to shut down for the season. Say, well, I'm not going to do Christmas this year. But I do not want that to crowd or shroud the meaning behind the season, that we are anticipating the return of Jesus Christ, the one to come, who shall put down all of the wrongs, the war, the violence. The big category for that is sin, everything that goes against the will of God, and bring to fruition everlasting love, life, joy, peace, and hope. H-O-P-E. And so today we are mindful of that hope, H-O-P-E, as we hear the word of God to us and as we celebrate the season today. Then they shall see the Son of Man coming in clouds with great power and glory. Then he will send out his angels and gather his elect from the 4 winds, from the ends of the earth to the ends of heaven. As we hear this word of God this morning, commentators tell us this is one of the small apocalyptic passages. They call it, with other passages of the scriptures in Matthew and some of Revelation, apocalyptic because they unveil, as it were, pull back the curtain and give us a glimpse of what is to come. God chose to just give us a look. I do not think any of us can be able to stand all of the look of it if God was to just show it all to us. But God just pulls it back, pull back the curtain a little while, and give us a peep. A good infomercial, not like the one the man saw that changed in an instant. God pulls back the curtain for us to see. God took human form upon God's Son and was born into the world in the person of Jesus Christ, the babe that we will celebrate in the manger in a few weeks. And God had promised his salvation would come to the world. And many were waiting, many were watching for it. This has been spoken from the time of the prophets, that God is going to intervene. God is going to bring everlasting peace, everlasting joy, everlasting love and life to the world. And I can imagine the people of old went to their graves saying, when, how long? And even after their time, Jesus, who was born as a babe, grew up and came to remind us, do not lose hope, because God is not finished yet. And as he speaks his departing words, he pulls back the curtain for a while and says, yes, I'm going away, but I'm coming again. Keep watch. Keep alert. Tell somebody, keep alert. Keep alert for his coming, because he is the living hope of our salvation. The text said they will see him coming on the clouds of glory. And I can imagine for the people of Jesus' time, that would mean so much, because they have been slaves in Egypt for a long time, for generations. Then they traveled across the wilderness into a land that they thought they would possess forever. And then they were carried away in exile, and their homeland destroyed. And all the while they're here, it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. And I can imagine they would want to give up. But Jesus once more says, yes, it's going to happen. The people that walk in darkness are seeing a great light. Upon them the light has shone. It's like, Lord, we saw this before. We saw the movie, we have the t-shirt. We even made a DVD. Would you like me to play it back for you? And he says, no, be hopeful. And the hope does not rest in an idea that would die or pass with time. The hope rests in a person, said the hope rests in a person. The living Christ, the one who was dead and is alive. Christ is the living hope of our salvation. Yes, they hung him on a tree. He died. But hallelujah, he rose again. And he says, yes, I am coming again. Be ready. Keep watch. And no one will have to say to you, there he is or here he is. He says, you will see him wherever you are. One passage in the New Testament says, they that have died will come with him. And it doesn't matter if you're in Alaska. Let us pray for the people in Alaska. They've just gone through a terrible earthquake and tsunami. But even if you're in Alaska, I say Alaska because for our nation is that furthest point that way. Or you're over there on the side, down in the Virginia Beach area, battling those storms and hurricanes in Florida. Or you are in Australia, down under, or Greenland, wherever you are, Europe, Asia, wherever you are, from the ends of the earth to the ends of heaven, everyone will see it. And I preach this every Advent. And I'm always cautious to remind us because we like to follow the next thing. Not so much us sitting here, but people. The next fad, and somebody comes up with a new religion, and we chase after that. And that one disappoints us. And somebody comes with another one, and we chase after that. And that disappoints us. And that happens because we're not mindful and remembering the words of God and what Jesus says to us. What does he say in the passage today? Everyone shall see him. Say that to yourself until you believe it. Say, everyone shall see him.
Shall see it.
So if somebody come and say, you know, there's Jesus, come let me show you where he is. I say, go ahead, I'll meet you. Because all I have to do is stay where, do whatever I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that right? and I will see him. He is our living hope, our life-giving hope. It's in the person of Jesus Christ, who comes at the end of all things to put down once and for all death, sickness, power, destruction. But he says at the end, keep watch, keep away. It doesn't mean that we go outside our front porches and we keep looking up to the sky. It means we do what we have to do in loving and serving him while waiting, anticipating in our hearts, our minds, our desires, his return. As I thought about this, I thought about my grandson's visit about a little over 2 years ago. He was a little baby, so he didn't come by himself. But his parents said, oh, we're coming up to pay a visit. And I said, great. And then I felt very good, very wonderful, and excited until I began to remember, well, I haven't had a little kid like this in my house for a while. So I started wondering, okay, what we got to do? You got to make sure, things are kid-proof. You got to make sure there's somewhere for this little kid to lie down. I had to go out and buy a bassinet. And then, you might want a few little things to play with. And so I had to do all of that preparation. But then as I'm preparing, I'm anticipating the coming. And so each day I'm saying it's getting closer. They give me a date. His mom and dad gave me a date. And each day I'm saying it's getting closer. And I'm thinking, okay, what else to do? But here's the point of that. Up until that day, I never stopped doing what I needed to do. To go to work as a pastor, to visit as a pastor, to preach and prepare as a pastor. But all at the same time, preparing for his coming. And looking out. When it gets closer to the day, you start listening for the rumbling of a vehicle in the driveway or a knock on the door. And so whether he comes a day early, you might say, oh, I got an earlier flight. Well, his parents not able. I got an earlier flight. I had to be ready. If he was delayed, no problem. I'm ready. Maybe I'll finish up one or two things. That's what our preparation is like. We know Christ is coming. But we don't stop living. We don't stop loving. We don't stop caring for one another. We live as if he is here now. So that when he comes, he finds in our lives, in our hearts, room to dwell, to live. Not just for a season, but for eternity. This is the Christ in whose hope H-O-P-E we live. May he find us ever so ready as we prepare our hearts, our lives, to embrace and receive him on the day of his coming. How do we live it? Loving one another. Family promise is coming. When we serve in family promise, we are living lives in preparation. When we visit the sick and care for one another, we are living lives in preparation. When we take care of our families, we are living lives of preparation. When we show love to the children, we are living lives of preparation. Jesus Christ, who comes to us and is coming again, is our only hope of salvation that will end the nights and days of wrath and return life, love, hope, and joy to the world. May it be so. Let the people of God say,
Amen.